You destroyed everything, and now you dare cry?
I almost had dignity. I never betrayed you.
Clara stiffened, her fingers tightening around her clutch as she recognized the abrasive tone of the man who had once systematically dismantled her self-worth. She turned slowly to face Mark, the man who had divorced her and left her with nothing but a mountain of debt and a tarnished name. "I'm not here for you, Mark," Clara said, her voice remarkably steady despite the chaos in her chest. "I am here because I belong here." Mark let out a harsh, jagged laugh that drew the attention of several nearby investors. "You belong in the kitchen of a diner, Clara, not at the Grand Meridian Gala," he sneered, stepping into her personal space to assert his dominance. He gestured to his designer tuxedo and the expensive watch glinting on his wrist. "I'm the top-performing director at Sterling Global now, while you're likely here as someone's +1 or a waitress." Clara looked him in the eye, refusing to flinch. "Is that what you tell yourself to sleep at night?" she asked quietly, his face contorted with sudden, irrational rage at her lack of fear. "You think you're special?" he whispered, leaning in. Before she could react, he gathered himself and spat directly onto her cheek, the insult wet and burning against her skin. The moisture hit her cheek, a warm, humiliating spray that silenced the surrounding chatter for those close enough to witness the assault. Mark pulled back, his lips curled in a grotesque smirk, while the woman on his arm giggled nervously into her champagne. Clara didn't blink. She simply felt the liquid trickle down her skin, marking the spot where her dignity was supposed to break. "You're a stain on this room, Clara," Mark spat, leaning in so close she could smell the sour whiskey. "I worked my way into this firm while you were busy playing victim. Do you have any idea who I am now?" Clara reached into her clutch, pulling out a lace handkerchief with agonizing slowness. "I know exactly who you are, Mark," she said, her voice a low, steady hum that vibrated with a newfound steel. "I knew it the day you walked out, and I see it even clearer now." "You're pathetic," he barked, his face reddening as he noticed a few high-level executives glancing their way. "Security will be here in a second to toss you out like the trash you are." "I'm the regional director of logistics for Sterling Global. My word is law here." Clara wiped her face, her eyes never leaving his. Logistics. A demanding role for someone so disorganized. "Don't you dare use that tone with me," Mark hissed, raising his hand as if to strike. "You are nothing." A sharp ringtone cut the air. Mark's phone buzzed violently. Mark's thumb swiped the screen with a flourish, his chest puffed out as he put the call on speaker to impress the gathering crowd. "This is Mark Vance," he announced, his voice booming with unearned authority. "I assume you're calling to confirm my promotion before the keynote." The voice on the other end was not the CEO, but the Senior Vice President of Human Resources, sounding cold and surgical. "Mark, stay where you are. We've just received a live video feed from the ballroom security. Your behavior toward a guest is a direct violation of the morality clause in your contract." Mark's face drained of color, his smirk collapsing into a frantic twitch. "Sir, you don't understand. This woman is my ex-wife, a trespasser. You were just assaulting the majority shareholder of the Sterling Acquisition Group." The voice interrupted, dripping with disdain. The phone slipped slightly in Mark's sweaty grip. He looked at Clara, his eyes wide and bloodshot, searching for a joke that wasn't there. "The shareholder. No, that's impossible. She's nothing. She's broke." Clara stepped into the light, her silhouette sharp against the gold leaf of the pillars. "I let you believe that, Mark. Silence is a very useful tool for observing a person's true nature." She took a step forward, and for the first time, Mark retreated. "I've been a silent owner of your paycheck for 90 days. I wanted to see if you were a leader. Instead, I found a bully. You think you're the hunter, Mark? But you've been standing in my trap for months," Clara said, her voice a calm blade that sliced through his panicked breathing. Mark dropped his phone. The screen cracked against the marble floor, echoing like a gunshot. "What did you do?" he whispered, his hands shaking as he realized the executives weren't just watching, they were waiting. Clara stepped closer, her shadow looming over him. "I didn't do anything but succeed. I bought Sterling Globo's parent company 6 months ago. I've been watching your performance and frankly, it's as sloppy as your manners. You're the owner. Mark gasped, his knees buckling. The woman beside him slipped away into the crowd, leaving him isolated in the center of the room. Clara signaled to the head of security, who moved in with clinical precision. I came tonight to see if you had changed, Clara continued, her expression unreadable. But you're still the man who thinks power is the right to be cruel. Effective immediately. You are terminated for gross misconduct. Security will escort you out. Please, don't forget your pride on the way to the curb. The room watched in absolute silence as the once proud director was dragged toward the exit, his pleas for mercy falling on deaf ears. Clara turned back to her drink, her reflection in the glass showing a woman who was finally whole. Cruelty is loud, but the truth is a permanent silence. She had won, not by sinking to his level, but by rising so high he could never reach her again. Justice wasn't a gift, it was an achievement.